Hello, I'm Stephen from Eason, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome SHEILA Flanagan, whose new book, My Mother's Secret, has just been published by Headline. SHEILA, thanks so much for coming in to see us.
My pleasure.
Novel number 20.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's been the biggest change that you've seen in kind of the book trade or the book industry in the last 25 odd years since you started writing?
Well, I guess in the book trade itself, it's been ebooks.
Yes.
I mean, that has been a massive change, and for me, and I think most writers really love the actual physical book, but I'm happy for people to read whatever way suits them. So fortunately, my books are available in ebooks as well. And I'm happy for people to read that way if that's what they want to do. But it has made a big difference to the book trade and to how books are delivered and things like that.
Yeah, and has something that you've done in the last 25 years kind of changed from a writing point of view? Do you still sit down with the old pen, or are you now on a typewriter or computer, or how does it work?
Typewriter. I never, well actually I think when I was about 15 I might have had a typewriter. No, I've always worked on a computer, and one of the great things my mum did for me when I was about 17 was she did send me out on a typing course so I can touch type.
Yeah.
And so it's really quick for me, and I can think and type at the same time. So my method of doing things has pretty much stayed the same. But what I do sometimes now is I edit my books on my iPad, or I do one of the edits on the iPad, because you can sit back with it as though it's a book. You're reading it that way as opposed to sheets of paper in front of you.
And do you just dive in, or do you have like sheets of plans and kind of maps and that sort of stuff, or do you just kind of chap one and off you go?
Yeah, sometimes the plans happen as I'm writing, you know what I mean? I usually start off with no big plan, and then as I get into the book I see where I'm going to go more with it, and I have plans. For My Mother's Secret, because it's a big family story, it's an extended family, I had to do a family tree. So actually that was fun, because I had my coloured pens out.
A little bit of who do you think you are kind of thing.
Yeah, so that was great fun actually.
Super. And tell us, I mean, it's a very intriguing title, My Mother's Secret. Tell us a little bit about the book.
And she has more than one actually, as it turns out. Well, basically it was kind of uniting two things that interest me. One is my horror of surprise parties, and the other is families getting together at parties. Parties are great for novels. You can have all sorts of things going on. But basically, in this book, they're organising a surprise party for their parents. 3 children are organising a surprise party for their parents, and everybody's coming. The whole family and friends are coming. And at the party, the mum is sort of overcome by what's going on and everything, and suddenly she feels I can't keep secrets I've been hiding any longer. Things that are being said to her and about her make her feel she's a fraud, and she has to come out and say things.
Well, sounds a bit stressful.
Actually, I just feel very sorry for her. But then as she tells people things that they didn't know, then the effect that it has on everybody there, because it's just not just herself, it's on her children and on her own sisters and the wider family. Sounds
absolutely fascinating, and a kind of lessons on party planning, I think.
Lessons on party planning, which is just don't.
An exciting new project for you coming next year as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm doing my first children young adult book, and this was out of the blue for me, and it wasn't that anybody approached me to do it or anything like that, but I had an idea for a story, and it's quite different to the sort of things that I would normally write. And I still didn't think whether it would be children's or adult, but it suddenly made me, as I was planning it in my head, because I did a little bit more planning in my head for it, I realised that it would be better told from the perspective of teenagers. So the 2 main protagonists in this are teenagers, and so that's why it's kind of geared towards them. But I mean, in terms of how I wrote it, I didn't try and make it any different, I just told the story.
Very good. And that's out next year?
That's out next year. It's called The Crystal Run.
The Crystal Run, there you go, you heard it here first. Just very quickly back to this year, it's summertime, everybody's heading to the beach. Any good book recommendations for people this year? Well,
with my young adult hat on, I actually recently read a novel which is aimed at young adults, but is now being brought out in an adult format as well. It's by Louise O'Neill.
Oh, Only Every Yours, yes.
It's really good. Really good, and a good read. I only got around to this year reading The Miniatures by Jess Burton myself, but really engrossing book. I like legal crime, legal drama. There's a guy called Steve Kavanagh, he brought out a book
from the Northern Ireland,
from the Defence. Really good. I mean, You swear he was American.
Yeah.
Like, it's very good like that. And of course, my old friend Patricia Stanley has her book A Time for Friends out, and that's very, it's a nice, easy summer read.
Perfect. Lots of cross-genre recommendations there, so absolutely perfect. One other thing that we do have to mention is that we have a fantastic competition to coincide with the release of My Mother's Secret. We have a John Lewis hamper to give away full of very, very nice goodies. I think we're going to try and enter it ourselves, although we're not actually allowed. There is a question on it. Sheila, you have the question?
I do, and basically the question is that in the novel My Mother's Secret, Jenny wants to celebrate her Ruby wedding anniversary with the man she loves, but from whom she has been keeping a secret for as long as they've been together. How many years does a Ruby anniversary represent?
Okay, so
2 years?
Yeah.
70 or 40?
Perfect. So how
multiple
many years?
choice.
Yes, indeed. How many years for Ruby anniversary? 2, 70 or 40? The competition closes online on the 12th of July, so make sure you get your entries in before then. Sheila, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in.
Not at all.
My Mother's Secret by Sheila Flanagan is available in Eason stores and also online. See you soon.